Hey Breesties, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to do my hair, and I'm also going to tell you a story time about how I almost went into the military but backed out at the last minute because I was set up. So if that's something you want to hear about, stay tuned because we're about to get into it. I'm using the T3. It is a really cool straightener, very easy to use, and it's touchscreen, which is very different than what I'm used to. All right, so let's get into the story. So I was living in Chicago. It was about 2018 or 19. Um, and I was just feeling like I wasn't doing enough in my life. I felt like I needed to get myself together a little more and maybe do a career change. And so I thought about going into the military as an officer. At that time, I was already a college graduate, so the officer program was something that I qualified for. And I had relatives in the military who also went through the officer program and were able to walk me through the process. So, with all of that, I decided to make that decision by going into my local recruiting center and basically explaining to them that I want to join the military, but that I want to go the officer route, and if they could guide me through that process. At first, they seemed very interested and supportive. They tried to tell me, how the process was going to go. But then I started to notice some red flags. The main one being that they were trying to tell me that this process was going to be very easy, very quick, and I could schedule my testing like in the next week or 2 weeks, and then I could go to the base and do my physical training, drug test, all those things, as if it's going to be a quick, easy process. Now, like I said, I have military family, and they told me the complete opposite. They told me this was going to take time. They told me that I need to study, if anything, get a tutor, practice my fitness, really take this serious because it is a big opportunity that I don't want to miss out on. So I decided to take their advice. I got a tutor. I woke up at 5 every morning, training myself to, be able to do a mile. And I really went all in with the process. But again, the recruiters were still pushy, trying to get me to schedule and trying to rush my whole plan. So one study session, I'm with my tutor, and he can tell that I'm very upset and just not really focused. And so I confide in him and I let him know that my recruiters are trying to rush me to do the testing, and I don't understand why when I constantly tell them that I want to be an officer. And y'all, what he told me next was so shocking. I could not believe it. But basically, he said that the reason they're rushing me is totally on purpose, and they're trying to get me to hurry up and take the test so I can fail my officer program, and so they can offer me enlisted and get a bigger bonus. Y'all, I was gagged. I could not believe that they would take my future into their hands and manipulate it for their gain. I called my recruiter and I told them flat out, I was like, I'm not interested and I'm not going into the military. I was so disgusted because I just couldn't believe that a recruitment office would be so low down and dirty and not care anything about my well-being, my wants, my needs, my career, and really wanted to just pass me off so that they could get a quick commission. Oh my gosh, guys. But yeah, that was such a crazy thing. And after that, I really just stopped going into the military. I took that as a sign that I needed to just find my own way and figure things out on my own without signing anything, because that was such a major life step. That was going to be such a major change in my life. And just the fact that there are people that are preying on people interested in going into the officer program, it was so shocking. I know this is a very different type of story time. I don't know if anyone can relate to this. If you can, definitely let me know, because I would love to hear your stories in the comments. We can definitely talk about it. I just can't help but think about all those people who don't have military family or military experience that just sign on, looking for that way out or that career, and then just get snubbed at the end. Like, it really left a bad taste in my mouth. And the crazy part is I actually do have military experience, and I've never heard of any recruiter rushing the process like they did. Like it was so obvious. I'm like, did you really think that I was just going to go with this and I was just going to trust you? Oh my gosh. Ugh. So yeah, if anyone's thinking about going to the military, just keep an eye out for those type of things. If you get a bad vibe, hey, do what you want to do with that, because I actually have family who love the military, and I have family who went and didn't. And it's everyone. You make it what it is. It's for some people, it's not for others, it's not for everyone, but again, it's all up to you and what you want. But just make sure nobody is playing with you or misleading you. Like, energy does not lie. Definitely look for those red flags. And I really hope that, again, I'm a special case. I hope that this is not what people have been doing, because what in the world? How is this even fair? Like, how? But that concludes my story time. It's almost 2026, so if you're watching this after, let me know how your 2026 is going. And if it's before, happy almost New Year. I'm just going in with a lot of hope and excitement. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.